everybody. Welcome to another edition of Keeping It Real with myself, Liesel. Tonight's episode is purely dedicated to all the teachers in the world, globally, because soon we will be celebrating International Teachers Day. Because I think teachers is a role, it's a position, it's a role that doesn't get the necessary appreciation that I think it deserves. It is a time where it's a very critical role that the teachers play in our children's lives, and how they form themselves and how they actually shape their thought patterns, and also how they see the world. So tonight, with me, right here in the comfort of his own house, please welcome with me Mr. Trevor Benson, aka Teddy B. Welcome, Teddy.
Good evening, and thank you so much.
Yes, thank you for allowing us inside your space. And you're the singer, songwriter. You've got so many titles. I didn't know which one to choose. You're singer, songwriter, producer, and a pedagogist, if I say that correct. Please explain to me what is that to the viewers.
Yes, thank you, Liesel, for the opportunity to be part of your show. A pedagogist is, we do the studying of learning and teaching.
Okay.
So we study how to, the world of the learner. The psychology of the learner.
That is powerful, and I'm sure it's very satisfying for you, because you have that passion for youngsters. Am I right?
Most definitely. I love teaching.
Yes.
I love children.
Yes.
So with loving children and loving teaching, it's not always moonshine and roses. However, the passion is there.
Yes.
The passion is there to teach and
Yes.
to develop their young minds into becoming who they are called to be.
Yes, I think, and that's such an important phase in a kid's life, especially in primary school with the foundation phase, where they actually get formulate how they see the world. So what do you think children are learning, taking from you when they go to high school and that? What do you think Trevor is giving to them?
Yes.
Or what would you like them to take with them?
As a primary school teacher, as you said, the Bible says in Proverbs that you should train up a child in the way that they should go. And when they grow up, they will never depart from it.
Yeah.
So in primary school, we have the opportunity to not only mold their minds, but also for them to see where they want to be in life.
Of course.
They have an idea, but you need to give word. You need to give terminology to what they what they want to become.
Actually opening up their world and their minds for them.
And they can put, that's why we have always new words, vocabulary, so they can put now a name to what they want to be.
Yes. Oh, that's awesome. It sounds amazing.
And it's very exciting.
And you're a singer, so do you sing with them in class as well? Or do they participate?
80% of the time.
You give a lesson in a song.
Yes, we use every resource.
Yeah.
Teaching is like being on stage. You have a role to play.
Yes.
So now in teaching, we use every resource that we have. If I can sing, if I can rap, if I can dance, I use that in order for them to be part of the lesson.
Yes.
It's not like a jug. You throw water from one thing into another thing. It is like you share what they already know. They have a prior knowledge when they come into school. So you now give, like Vygotsky used to say, according to Vygotsky, the child comes with prior knowledge, and you now give meaning to what they already know.
Of course,
Yes.
of course. That gives me another idea. That I wanted to share with everybody. You are busy with your MED, your Masters in Education.
Yes.
What are you specializing in, and what is your thesis going to be?
I'm specializing in actually foundation phase, language, literacy in language. How if the school system or the education system accommodates the learner that comes from, like for instance, the Cape Flats area. So now it's the language of Afrikaans and Afrikaans. So it's how the two languages can be intertwined in order for the learner to benefit from
Of
it.
course,
Yes.
of course.
Yes.
That's very interesting.
Yes,
How
indeed.
far are you in the process?
I'm 2 months and I'm done with my
Oh,
masters.
amazing. We can't wait. That's
I'm
another
very excited.
celebration.
I'm very excited
I mean,
for
that's
that.
awesome. So what would you then say to a teacher that's or somebody who's aspiring to become a teacher, what would you say to that youngster that's coming into teaching? What advice would you give them?
Yes. Teachers, I would advise, first, number one, if you have that the aspiration to become a teacher, number one, go online, go to a university and apply online.
Yes.
That's the first thing.
Yes.
Because the moment you apply, then whatever you desire, it will come into fulfillment, because they will respond, and then your thing will start rolling in. And then number two, find out what you want, why you want to be a teacher.
Yes.
You know, you have to put motive to what you want to do, and go for it. And you know, teaching is very fulfilling. You don't always get all the money in the world for it, but it is really fulfilling. Coming home after school, I come from school now. And coming home knowing that you have imparted something into another learner, and you are not only building for them now, you're building for the next generation.
Of course.
Yes.
And you started at a later stage in your life. Why teaching? Why then teaching? Because you had experience in other fields as well. So why specifically becoming a teacher?
Yeah, you know, my mother used to prophesy, and she didn't even know it. When she was, when I went to university for the first time, and that was in '92.
Wow.
93 actually. I went as a social worker. So as I studied, my mother used to tell the people, my child is studying to be a teacher.
Oh,
she didn't know that I'm doing social work, because in their minds, from where they come from, teaching was the everything.
It's the ultimate.
Or in fact, they didn't know the other names like psychology and social work.
Exactly.
They only knew teaching was the one.
The one.
So she told everybody that I'm a teacher,
Yes.
and she's so very proud of me and everything.
Yes.
And through my life, lifespan, I gave up social work after my first year, because the thing didn't work out for me. I was young, and I was, when you are young,
Yes.
your mind is all over the place.
Of course, yeah.
And but as I grew older in my lifespan, I went through very different stadiums of my life.
Yes.
And in one of those stages, I was a lecturer at a Bible school.
Yes.
I was a lecturer, and there I formed my mind as a teacher. And when I was 40,
Yes.
I decided I'm going to finish my degree. In fact, I'm going to finish. I'm going to become a teacher.
Yes.
So usually at 40, what happens at 40? Life begins at 40.
Life begins at 40.
So I started my journey as a teacher, going to university, and after 4 years I was done with my undergrad.
Okay.
And a year I left 1 year out after that. So I rested, and then in 2019 I started with my honors, and then immediately after my master's, which I'm finishing on this
That
year.
is just amazing. I'm wishing you well, and
Thank
I can't
you.
wait for
Yes.
that 2 months, after the 2 months, to share the graduation with you. But you mentioned 40, that 40 is the new 20. So there's still
indeed,
life. There's still a lot of life left. But you mentioned also earlier that teaching is not always sunshine and roses. There's a lot of challenges that you face on a daily basis. I mean,
Yes.
from not just the children, but having resources, having enough resources to teach the kids, and etc. etc.
Yes.
What would you say is your daily or your biggest challenge up to now? What was your biggest challenge?
Yes, you must remember, when every child comes from different backgrounds, so it's about context. So the child maybe is like they say over Voortrekker is maybe they have all the resources, perhaps, and their parents are maybe from they are professional people, or they are people that are also in education academically. So that child learns better because he's already in that mode when he comes. But then you get the child on this side of the rail, who's where you actually that child is a different type of child with different context and his background. So that child, say for instance Afrikaans. Our children speak Afrikaans instead of Afrikaans. now the child over the road or over on that side speaks plain Afrikaans at home and at school. But now the child that comes from this side, he needs to first learn the Afrikaans language. It's like a new language to him. And but when he then he learns his language, then he learns the subject.
Oh yeah.
You see, and that is a double learn. So that's a great challenge. That's one of my greatest challenges. Other like I said, the context where the child comes from, the background of the child. Some children come out of broken homes. Some children come out of homes where maybe the father or the mother is maybe a drug addict or a gangster. And that child comes with that world, that psychology. It comes into the classroom, and you first have to deal with that. If before you can teach that child, you have to break down barriers. You have to break down layers. And that is some of the challenges. And it's also the area where you teach. It's very important. To look at those things. Those are the challenges that you're facing on a daily basis. But it is very motivating to know that when that child is going to go over to the next grade or go to a high school or whatsoever, that you know that you have imparted something and you have at least changed a child's life. Yes.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So what would you suggest? What is your suggestion to change that challenge or to make it easier for in general for teachers? What would you say is the solution to that problem, to overcome that problem where they speak the different languages and come from different backgrounds?
That is why I'm doing my master's with regards to that. It is how this thing can be changed is when the department, and not only the Western Cape department, but the basic education, if they can start to formalize, language, the language, Afrikaans language, into the different dialects. Because a child should learn in the language that they grow up, or the home language, or the mother tongue. If we can start formalizing laws with regards to that, so that every child can grow in the language that obviously it's not possible for every child to in every class, because you have in one class you have a so-called colored child, you have a black child, you sometimes have white children in the class. So now you have to, it's going to be very difficult for the teacher. However, if we formalize it, then we can place them in the right class. Maybe put all the children from the foreign children in that class.
Because it's a third or fourth language.
Exactly. Then all the so-called colored who speaks Afrikaans, then you put them in that class. And that is. I think we should rethink education. I think we should rethink a lot of things. Teaching and education is about evolving. And I believe education in South Africa, we are still evolving. We didn't arrive yet, so we can't say this is the set thing. So we and that is why I'm so excited and passionate about this, is because I know that we can evolve with education. We use different methods. We use ITC. ITC is technology that we can use in order for the literacy to be developed. In language.
Wow, that's amazing. That is so amazing. I would also like to ask the question, one of the challenges that I read about all the time is what role does the parent play? And how can the parent and the teacher, collectively work together in order to empower that child?
Yes.
How do you think, what role does the parent play?
The parent's role is pivotal when it comes to like, for instance, as a teacher, I need to on a daily basis to communicate with my parents, because the parents are the other teacher at home. The parents is the teacher. The parent is the teacher at home. So if whatever I've taught the child at school, I need to relay to that parent, so that the parent can help and assist the child at home. And if the parent doesn't know what the teacher have given the child, then the parent won't be able to help. That's why we have workshops where we can involve the parent. We have workshops. You tell them this is the work that we have done. This is the question. This is the answers. So now the parent, you don't just send a child home with only questions. You need to equip the parent to help the child,
Of course.
so that the parent can at least say the reason why this is the reason with the child when it comes to his.
So the workshops, is it just your school, or is it a general thing that happens?
Many schools are doing it. Many schools are doing it where the parent is involved. Maybe on a Saturday morning we gather and this is what we're going to do for the term.
For the term.
And this is the work that we are going to set out. So we just want you to have an idea as to what. But most of the times, the communication between the teacher and the parent is very important. If whatever the parent do not understand, he has a direct line towards the teacher, so the teacher can help the child.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think the Poppy Act makes it a bit difficult for everyone to want to be contacted. So I'm hoping that all parents would want to know what's happening in their kids' life and allow you to
Yes.
contact them. I know it's always that.
Not always. Unfortunately, not always. Some parents are not involved. But it is the minimum. It is the most of the parents. They want to be part. They want to be a form part of it, and you work with those and to inspire the others who do not. And we, like you said, your child is my child. If we can have that, community,
Yes.
where we can. I help your child, you help my child.
Like they say, it takes a village.
It takes a village to raise a child.
Raise a child, indeed. So yeah, thank you for covering that and for allowing, because I think that's a great initiative.
Yes.
The fact that there's workshops, because I know a lot of parents are at work, they're busy with bringing food on the table, so they don't necessarily have the time to sit with the child. But at least if you can sit in a workshop and be explained, then
Exactly.
you know where you can sort of assist with the child's progress. So you're having this stressful life. I think it's a stressful job. I would never have survived as a teacher in today, especially teaching the Generation Z. So how do you, when after school, how do you unwind in order to stay positive?
Personally,
and to, just refresh.
Yeah, refresh. What my routine after school is when I come home, I sleep for an hour, so that I can just maybe unwind and load off whatever I have faced during the day. I usually sleep 1 hour after school, and then I fetch my wife. It's refreshing to have your family at home. To be able to, not all teachers have families, some people are single, some teachers are single, so but I have my wife and the people in the house, and we have our daily routine that we spend time together,
and that support keeps you, that's
the
the one that refuels you all the time.
Indeed.
To carry on the next day. I would say no, but that sounds great. If you had to, I know you're a singer, songwriter, all of those positions, but if you had to win the lottery tomorrow, if somebody blesses you with a few millions or something, what would you still continue teaching, or would you choose, what would it be, what would that position or role be that you would change to?
It will be something that will cover everything. I would start my own school. I would start my own school and be able to teach the subjects that I think is important for children.
Oh wow.
You have subjects that they have at school, but there's also subjects that you make. Like for instance, I would teach money. Children, when they grow up, they want to know about
how
money.
To budget, exactly.
Yes.
How to work with finance.
Yes. Maybe they know mathematics and stuff like that, but I would how to. There are certain things that when you grow up, you really. Many people are only awake that moment in the late stage. Maybe after school. That it's like it's a great awakening for them, and sometimes it's frightening.
Of course.
So I would start a school where the subject is specific, but also it will be part of your life, things that will. I would speak about debt, I would speak about the things that people face on a daily basis.
On a daily basis,
yeah.
And how to make it work with a small salary, or what if it's a big salary, but how to even work with that.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Like for instance, I'm a musician. I would have guitar. I would have vocals. I would have piano. I would have a music school, but also the business side of music. The business side, maybe catering, maybe stuff like that. things that really make sense, that really is relevant to how people live. Yes.
Sounds good. So up to now, Trevor, what would you say is your biggest accomplishment up to today?
My biggest accomplishment up to today is that when I look into my life, next year I'm going to be 50 years old. So before 50, I've reached quite a few things, parallel. I'm busy with my music. I'm busy also as a teacher. Something that I wanted to do.
Yes.
That is a great accomplishment for me.
Yes.
When I'm 50, I will be done with a lot of things that I planned to 10 years back.
Yes.
So that is a great accomplishment to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I want to say well done and for taking on the journey like in your late 30s and becoming that takes a lot of,
Indeed.
Of somebody's courage. It takes a lot of courage.
Mm.
But like we talked about all these serious things. Was there ever a moment, like I know you're a very jovial person in general, any embarrassing teaching moments you want to share with us? Something that happened in class or anywhere?
Quite a few. I like to play with the children. I believe playing is a way of children likes to play and having fun. So obviously when children get used to they obviously like for instance some of the children would play with my hair, or they would they would make jokes about my hair. And I always tell them I'm a koisa. That's why my hair looks like this and stuff like that. Sometimes a bit embarrassing. One embarrassing moment is one day at my previous school where I grade 7. Now I'm a short person, as you can see, and the learners, they were tall. So this one day I had them in detention.
Oh my goodness.
And this Friday afternoon I had them in detention, but they decided they are not going to go into detention. So I kept them, I locked the door, and they were looking for the key. I had the key hidden in my jacket. So, and at that school we had, this, what do you call it now? A button for security.
Oh
purpose.
yeah, the
So it's
emergency
an
button.
emergency button. So if you are in trouble, you just press it and the security immediately comes. So they decided they're gonna take this key from me, and they lifted me up against the board, against the blackboard.
Really?
Yes, they said, so today we're gonna kill you. We won that thing. And they were serious. They were serious. But when you look back into that, you realize the joke in it.
Oh, yeah.
They wanted the key. They wanted to go home and stuff like that. Yeah, so very embarrassing moment because
my goodness. Sounds
just
a bit
imagine my
more
shortness
serious.
against these tall guys, lifting me up.
Exactly, but
Yeah.
I'm sure it was embarrassing. But I mean, it sounds also a little bit dangerous, like your life could be in danger.
Context.
Yeah. So, if you had to share any wisdom with a child today, what would be your message that you want them to take with them to the future?
I always tell my children, you must remember, where you are right now is not your destiny. Where you are right now is not your destiny.
Yeah.
You have a future, and whatever you're going through right now, whether it affects your education, your academic, whether it's positive or negative, this is not where you're going to end up. You are going out of this, and especially I tell them also when they read, it is like the reading takes you on a journey. Wherever you want to be, whatever book you read, that reading takes you. So read more, study more, and also use your imagination to go wherever you want to be. And like I said, your destiny, your best is yet to come. Your destiny lies ahead.
Ah, awesome.
Yes.
That goes in with Jeremiah 29 verse 11.
Indeed.
Where the Lord talks about the plans He has for you in the future. So yeah, indeed, bigger plans for you. So, but on another serious note, I would say a lot of parents have lost their faith in our education system in South Africa. And I know a lot of parents is actually moving towards homeschooling. That percentage is growing where people want to pursue homeschooling. Would you agree? What would you say is the pros and cons of homeschooling if somebody had?
I must say it's very expensive. It's, unfortunately, many parents are going to their direction because they want the best for their child.
Yeah.
They want the best for their child, and if the teacher whom they employ is able to help that child to bring out the best in their child, then I would say go for it. However, it's also important for a child to be amongst other children. Interaction is very important. I always say learning takes place by socialization. So if you put a child isolated from the world or from whatever they need to experience, then that child becomes. I've seen many movies. I've seen many places, even in real life, where a child is only kept one side. Then that child becomes socially awkward. When he comes into other people, he will not really be able to make eye contact. He will not be able to make friends. So it's important for the teacher who's going to teach that child to nurture that child into be interactive.
Yes.
Interactive. Teachers, although you are one-sided, you must learn that the world out there, everybody needs one another.
Of course. But then in another, parents might say that, why must I send my child? I want my child to have that individual attention, because why must I put my child in a classroom where there's 40 kids? How do you as a teacher get to spend enough time with 40 kids, with each student?
Yes.
How do you manage that?
The thing is, you put your there's your needy children, those children who really need you. Then you have your children that these children can lead other children. That's why to me, what do you call it? We call it buddy teaching. Where the one learner reach out to the other learner, and you teach the child to be able to reach and help, and also the other one, you need them, you ask them, you help them to ask for help, because many children, we live in a society where children don't know how to ask for help, and you need to skill them, give them that skill to be able to ask, and also the other one skill how to help, the buddy system. Yes,
that sounds great. But now on a more lighter note, before we end of this tonight's show, if you had the opportunity, now you've won the lottery, you're still a teacher, what international country or what international event would you take your kids to? Like, if you had the opportunity to take children, where would you take them?
Wow,
that could be educational for them.
It could be educational. Because I love music, I would really take them to a live orchestral concert, or maybe in Germany or in Europe, somewhere
in Venice.
Yes, so that they can experience they are used to the type of music that they enjoy at home, but also to teach them the finer things in life, especially with the children that I deal with on a daily basis. I would love to teach them so that they can start to experience the variety of life. That's important.
Wow, it sounds amazing. You are so passionate about teaching, and thank you for sharing your knowledge with us. We wish you well with your masters.
And
we can't wait to see the graduation pictures and all of the best. But because I know it's not going to stop there, I'm sure you're going to go for your doctorate and all of those.
Yes.
But any last words or thought that you would like to keep with send of the viewers with before I end off?
My word, as you said, my favorite scripture is Jeremiah 29 verse 11. So I would like to encourage the viewers. For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a bright future, where you will be able to call upon God, knowing that He has a plan for your life, and where you are is not the end. It's just the beginning.
Thank you so much, Teddy B. Hope to see you soon, like I said, and thank you for allowing us into your space today.
Thank you very much.
To everybody who's been watching, thank you so much. As you know, I always end off the show with a verse myself, with a scripture verse, and I know I'm going to end it off with one of Trevor's favorite verses in the Bible as well. But I want to remind everyone to just be mindful of the teachers, celebrate them, because they are sitting with your child's future in their hand, and they're formulating the next leaders of the world. So indeed, I want to send you off with Proverbs 22 verse 6 that says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. So let's make sure that we are teaching our kids skills, and that we impart them with wisdom, enough wisdom to take on the world. Thank you, everybody. That is a wrap. See you next week. Bye.
And I'll take your pain, baby. I'll wear it out like a raider in the dark. I'll be coming to light your spark.